So hello everyone, I Raghavendra Singh welcomes you all. So actually मैंने पहले वीडियो बनाया but it was automatically deleted. I think it was very much blurred, so I deleted that video. Now again I'm starting as I'm going to cover software engineering unit number one and two both. So there are some topic in unit number one that are introduction to software engineering, definition, role of software engineering, planning of a software project, defining the problem, developing a solution strategy, planning the development process, software engineering process paradigm, principle of software engineering activities, explain. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss. It is hardly 8 to 9 topics. So basically, what is software engineering? If we want to know about software engineering, then we know that today market size of software engineering, whatever we if we want to join any big company, you can take example of Google, Microsoft, HCL. They all are oriented टैग ओरिएंटेड. सो टैग में बेसिकली हम सॉफ्टवेयर को कोड करते हैं ताकि वो लोगों की प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर सके. सो दैट इज़ ऑल सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग इन द सब्जेक्ट. बेसिकली इट taught us about that what should be way to learn software engineering, what are the rules, ethics, and this is all discussed in this subject. And it is not about like what exactly we do in software engineering, like coding or वगैरह. तो this is all in another subject. So let's begin. I hope it will not blur now. Yes, I hope it is visible. Okay, so let's begin. Introduction to software engineering. So what is software engineering? If I want to know about software engineering, so I can say a systematic, disciplined, quantifiable approach. A systematic and disciplined. We all know discipline is very important. Disciplined, quantifiable approach. Quantifiable approach. Okay, quantifiable approach to developing, operating, and maintaining software. To developing, operating, and maintaining software. Maintaining software. Okay, and मेन जो इम्पोर्टेंस है दैट इज इंश्योर सॉफ्टवेयर इज reliable, efficient, maintainable, and delivered on time and within budget. So what is software? So we can say software is computer program and associated documentation. What is this? Is computer program and documentation associated documentation and associated 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 documentation like a requirement and the user manual. It is a final product created through the software engineering process. We can say software that the importance it is the final product created by the software engineering process. So now let's discuss about planning of a software project. I hope it is all visible. Yes. So planning of a software project. So now it is about planning of a software project. Right? Planning of a software project. So I can say project planning is about the establishing and what, when, and how before writing any code, right? Obviously, if we want to build anything, then we need to know why are we building, when we are building, and how we are building. So first is defining the problem. First is defining the problem, right? First is defining the problem. So basically, this is the most crucial step. It involves clearly and precisely understanding and articulating the user's need or the business problem the software is intended to solve, right? So precisely understanding and articulating to the user's need means understanding of users need understanding of users need, right? Yes, understanding of users need or the business problem to software is intended to solve. Example, the current system takes 5 minutes to generate a report, and now it is developing a solution strategy. Second is developing developing a solution strategy. Okay, developing a solution strategy. So basically, determining the high level approach to solve the problem. This involves deciding the technology stack, system architecture, for example, mobile app and web service, uh, and constraints, cost, time, and resources. Like so, developing a solution strategy basically determining the high level approach. And say high level approach to solve the problem. This involves deciding this technology stack, technology stack, technology stack, system architecture, system architecture, system architecture, system architecture, system architecture. This and constraints. Planning the developing process. Now third is planning the developing process. Planning the development process. Planning the development process. Planning the development process. Okay. So basically, so creating a detailed roadmap and schedule. This involves creating a detailed roadmap and schedule. So planning the development process may we can say creating a detailed roadmap and schedule. This involves creating a detailed roadmap. What is this? This is all about creating a detailed roadmap. Creating a detailed roadmap. Okay. It can involve selecting the opportunities. It can involve what? Selecting the opportunities, software development lifecycle, SDLC, selecting the selecting the appropriate software development lifecycle, SDLC we can say, or model like agile or waterfall model, agile or waterfall model. I'll discuss about each one, that what is agile model, what is waterfall model. Basically, if I want to say right now, then waterfall model is second process begin when first is completed, we can say and estimating resources and effort, and third is defining milestones and deliverables. Okay, third is software engineering process paradigm. So third is software, I hope it is visible, software engineering process paradigm. Software engineering process paradigm. Okay, Software engineering process paradigm. These are the framework or models that defines the sequence of activities for software development. That defines the sequence of activities for software development. Okay, defines the sequence of software development. These are the framework or models that defines the sequence of activities of software development model. So basically, first is waterfall model. So it is about waterfall model. So waterfall model में first क्या आता है? First is project planning. First is I think in box में बना दूंगा project planning. Project planning. Okay. So first is project planning, and second is requirements. Requirements, and third is analysis. Analysis. I hope it is visible. And fourth is design, and fifth is coding. Finally, coding. Sixth is coding. Then it is testing. It is testing. Then next is deployment. Deployment. The final part, this, then we can say this is first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, seventh one. Okay. So basically what we did in this, so basically this is unit number 1. So unit पहले हमने पढ़ा सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग क्या है, फिर प्लानिंग ऑफ अ सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोजेक्ट या डिफाइनिंग द प्रॉब्लम, डेवलपिंग द सॉल्यूशन, प्लानिंग द डेवलपमेंट, एंड थर्ड इज सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग प्रोसेस पैराडाइज्म. पैराडाइज्म में क्या आता है, वाटरफॉल मॉडल. तो वाटरफॉल मॉडल में क्या होता है, पहले प्रोजेक्ट प्लानिंग होती है, देन रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती है, देन फिर एनालिसिस, देन डिज़ाइन, देन कोडिंग, देन टेस्टिंग, देन फाइनल डिप्लॉयमेंट. ओके. सो नाउ लेट्स डिस्कस अबाउट व्हाट इज वाटरफॉल मॉडल. So paradigm is waterfall. So paradigm is waterfall model. Okay, I hope it is visible. Yes. So waterfall basically, I hope it is visible very well. Yes. So waterfall, linear and sequential. Each phase must be completed before the next one start. Okay, which I have told you already. Linear and sequential. Linear and sequential. Linear and sequential. Each phase must be completed before the next one starts. Each phase must be completed before next one starts. Before next one starts, best use case we can say a small simple project with stable well defined. Use we can say stable, well defined, stable, well defined. Okay, and iterative, incremental. Now next is iterative or incremental. Iterative, incremental. The software is built in a small repeated cycle. A repeated cycle. Adding features incrementally in each cycle. Okay, Large complex project reduce risk and allows for early user feedback. Okay. Now next is agile model. What is agile model? So basically agile model, adaptive time boxed. I can say adaptive time boxed, and focuses on customer collaboration. and focus on customer collaboration, focus on customer collaboration and rapid delivery and rapid delivery and rapid delivery and rapid delivery of working software project with changing requirements where flexibility is key. Project with changing requirement where flexibility is key. Now let's discuss about principle of software engineering. Principle Principles of software where engineering of software engineering. There is R. Basically, I make similar R and V, so don't confuse on that. So, principles of software engineering. What are the principles? What are the ethics? What are the rules? So, I can say first is these are the fundamental rules that I am going to discuss. A guide to successful development of a software. First is rigorous and formal method. First is rigorous, rigorous and formal method. Rigorous and formal method. Rigorous and formal method. Okay, rigorous and formal method. Use established. I can say what is rigorous and formal method. It is use established engineering technique like a structure design rigorous testing rather than add HOC in formal methods. Second is modularity. What is modularity? Basically, modularity is break down the system into small independent manageable pieces. This makes the system easier to develop, test and maintain. Okay, breakdown, basically break down the steps. Okay, so abstraction. Third is abstraction. So what is in abstraction? Basically, abstraction is all about focus on the essential detail and hide unnecessary complexity. Focus on essential detail. It focus on essential detail. It focus on essential detail. It focus on essential detail and hide unnecessary complexity. And hide unnecessarily complex unnecessary complexity. Okay, and fourth is manage complexity. I hope it is recording very well. Yes, fourth is manage complexity. Fourth is manage complexity. So what is managing complexity is keeping the design simple and understandable, right? Okay, so manage the complexity, keeping the design understood and simple. What and simple. Okay, and anticipate change. Fifth is anticipate change. Anticipate change. Okay, fifth is anticipate change. So basically in this, design the software to be flexible and easy to modify as requirement will almost certainly change over time. Design the software to be flexible and easy to modify. To be flexible and easy to modify flexible and easy to modify, as requirement will almost certainly change over time. Okay. And software engineering activities. Now fifth topic is software. Again, it is our software engineering activities. Okay, so what is software engineering activities? These are the major tasks performed during the software development process. So first is requirement engineering. First is requirement engineering. First is requirement engineering. Discovering, documenting, analyzing, and validating what the user needs the system to do. Requirement engineering, what comes under this? Discovering, documenting, analyzing, and validating what the user needs to system to do. What the user needs. Discovering, documenting, analyzing. Under discovering, documenting, analyzing, validating what the user needs to system to do. Second is design. Okay, design. So defining the overall architecture, interface, and component of the system. Define the overall architecture. Architecture. Okay, overall architecture. Third is implementation. Implementation, or we can say coding, right? So basically, translating the design into the actual work code using a program language. Okay, using a program language. So now there are so many programming language like C, Java, JavaScript, CSS, backend, some backend developer, front-end developer, and etc. We need so many programmers that should be skilled in particular one language, so that the work can be divided and it can be more efficient. Now fourth is testing. Okay, fourth is testing. So what in testing? Like executing the program to find defects, ensure it meets the requirement, right? Like ensure it meets requirement. So obvious सी बात है कि like when we were building this app, what was the goal behind the building of this app? So that should meet the requirement, whatever the requirement we have. Fifth is maintenance. Once the app is launched, then we need to keep it updated to the time modern, or modifying the software after delivery to the correct errors, improve performance, or adapt it a new environment, right? Adapt it to a new environment. Okay, so first unit has been completed here. Yes, so first unit has been completed here. Now let's begin the second unit. Okay, so unit number second is, so second unit. So basically second unit, requirement analysis and design. We can say name is requirement analysis, requirement analysis and design. Requirement analysis and design. So today's date is, let me mention, 5th of December 2025. So requirement analysis and design, the topics are software requirement specification, we can say SRS, introductory need of SRS, system requirement specification, significance, characteristics of SRS, structure of SRS, IEEE standards of SRS design, functional and non-functional requirement gathering and analysis, requirement engineering and management. Okay, these are the topics. So let's begin. Software requirement specification. First, about discuss about SRS. I'm not writing full form. It is simply software requirement. Let me write. It is about software software requirement specification, software requirement specification. Okay, a software requirement specification is a formal document that describes what the software will do and how it will perform. Think of it as a blueprint of contract. Yes. A formal document that describes what the systems will do and how it will perform. Think of it as a blueprint or contract for the software project. It is written for the user's perspective without getting into a technical detail of how the code will be written. Okay. So let me discuss again. Blueprint or contract. You can see what is the difference. Blueprint or contract. Blueprint or contract. For the software project, it is written from the user's perspective without getting into the technical detail. Okay. A need of significance SRS. Need, we can say why we need it. So basically, to establish a clear agreement between the customer who wants the software and to the developer who build it. It ensures everyone is on the same page from the start. Okay, to establish the clear agreement. Simple need is to establish the clear agreement. Clear agreement. Okay. Now significance. About significance. What is significance? Baseline for testing. Testers use to SRS to check if the final software meets all the defined requirements, reduce rework, identifying errors to the misunderstanding early is much cheaper than the fixing them into the code later. Cost and schedule estimation. It provides a realistic basis for estimating the project cost and timeline. Okay. Characteristics of good SRS. Characteristic of good SRS. Good SRS. Characteristics of good SRS. So, good SRS means system requirement specification. First is unambiguous. First is unambiguous. 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 So each requirement must have only one interpretation. Okay, means one interpretation. Each ambiguous have only one interpretation. Avoid vague word. This system should not fast. And next is complete. The document must include कंटिन्यू वीडियो क्या क्या कर रहा है आप डांस कर रहे हैं yes, so it is first it should be unambiguous, like it should be one interpretation. Second is Second is complete. The document must include all significant requirements. Must complete all significant must complete all significant document, all significant requirement, all significant requirement. Okay. And third is it should be consistent. Right? Yes. So requirement must not contradict each other. Must not contradict each other. Must not contradict each other. Got it? Yes. Now it should be verifiable. Fourth, it should be verifiable. It should be verifiable means you must be able to test or measure whether the requirement has been met. The system shall display the page under the 3 seconds. Like now it should be modifiable. Obvious baat, if we are going to build anything, any software, then time to time we need to update it. Then it should be also modifiable. So the structure should be easy to update if requirement change needed. Okay, ready to change. Now sixth is traceable. Okay, traceable. Each requirement should be uniquely numbered so it can be tracked throughout the design, coding and testing phases. Each requirement should be uniquely numbered. Okay, each design should be uniquely numbered, so it can be tracked throughout the design. It can be tracked throughout the design. Okay. Now structure of SRS. Structure of SRS. Okay, structure of SRS. So according to IEEE standards, I will discuss about what is IEEE standards. Okay, so the IEEE standard 830 provides the recommendation. So IEEE 830 provide the recommendation structure to organize the SRS document, ensuring completeness and clarity. Ensuring completeness and clarity. Okay, ensuring completeness and clarity. So first is introduction. Define the purpose, scope and target audience. Okay, purpose, scope and target audience. Okay, now second is overall description. Overall description. So provides the high level view including the product perspective, functions and user characteristics. Provide high level view and user characteristics. Third is specific requirement. Specific requirement. Okay, third is specific requirement. The main section that lists all requirement in detail. First is functional requirement. Functional requirement. Non-functional. Second, non-functional. Third, external interface requirement. Third is external interface requirement. requirement. So functional and non-functional requirements. What are the functional and non-functional requirements? Let me discuss. What are the functional and non-functional, functional and non-functional requirement. Okay, functional and non-functional requirement. So basically functional, what the system must do, specify the features and actions of the software. The system must allow a user to reset their password or via email. So functional can be, what is functional? So I hope it is recording. Yes. So functional can be focus, the question it answer, sim- functional, what the system must do. Functional can be what system must do, what system must do. Okay, what system must do. Simple definition can be specify the features and actions. Specify specify features and action. Specify features and action. Specify feature and action. Okay, specifies feature and action. Specifies feature and action of the software. The system must allow a user to reset their password via email. For example, the system must allow user to reset their password via email. Okay, non-functional can be non-functional. Non-functional can be how the system must be. How system must be. How system must be. How system must be. So basically specifies the quality attribute or constraint of the system. Specify the quality attribute or constraint. Quality attribute or constraint. The login page must load under 1 second. For example, login page must load under 1 second. Performance of all user data must be encrypted. For example, NFR, performance security, reliability, usability, scalability, and portability. Requirement gathering analysis, which we have discussed already. Requirement gathering analysis. Requirement gathering analysis. Requirement gathering analysis. Basically, first stage requirement gathering, elicitation. So first stage interview, requirement gathering. First requirement gathering, requirement gathering के वे तो फर्स्ट हो सकते हैं इंटरव्यू. फर्स्ट इज इंटरव्यू. सेकेंड इज क्वेश्चनरी सर्वे. सेकेंड इज क्वेश्चनरीज सर्वेज. वर्कशॉप. थर्ड इज वर्कशॉप. And fourth is document analysis. Fourth is document analysis. Okay, so basically document analysis is reviewing existing business procedure, manual or previous system documentation to understand current operation. Requirement analysis. Second is requirement analysis, categorization. After gathering the requirement or examine to check for problem. So requirement analysis can be, this was requirement gathering, and now requirement analysis. Okay, so requirement analysis can be categorization. First is categorization. So grouping requirement into the related sets. Second is conflict resolution. conflict resolution. So basically finding the fixing requirement that contradict each other. Finding the fixing requirement contradict each other. Third is prioritization. Prioritization. Fourth is modeling. Fourth is modeling. Okay. So creating visuals diagram like or use. Okay. So requirement engineering management. So next is requirement engineering management. So requirement engineering management. So requirement engineering management. First is requirement engineering. So this is the entire structured process of figuring out, documenting and managing requirement. It is a systematic approach that ensures the software built is exactly what the customer needs. The main activities are first elicitation. First is elicitation. First is elicitation means gathering. Second is analysis. Elicitation kind of gathering we can say. Gathering. Second is analysis. Checking for conflict. Third is specification. Writing the SRS document. Fourth is validation. Okay, reviewing the SRS with the customer to ensure it is correct. Requirement management. Now requirement management. So basically requirement management, it can be the process of handling change into the requirement throughout the project's life. So change control, defining the process of how requirement can be officially requested, reviewed, approved or rejected. First can be change control. What comes under this? Defining a process for how requirement can be officially requested, reviewed or approved or rejected. And second is version control. Version control. Keeping track of different version of SRS as change are approved. Keeping track of different version of SRS change are approved. Okay. Third is traceability. Ensuring that every requirement can be linked forward or design cases and backward to original source. This is crucial when a change is made. Okay, so unit 2 complete. So here unit 1 and 2 completed, and let's begin third, fourth and fifth unit in next video. Okay, so thanks for watching.